You are the person that everyone goes to when they need something done at work. When there is a problem, they ask you. When there is a tight deadline, they ask you. When something falls through the cracks and they need someone to patch it up, they ask you. And you get great performance reviews. Like everyone tells you that the team couldn't function without you, or that you're the one who always gets things done and is holding things together, and yet you're stuck. You're not getting promoted, you're not getting a salary increase, and you're just overall no longer happy in your career, but you can't figure out what exactly is going on. Well, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 reasons why being the go-to person at work can keep you stuck in a dead-end job. I'm also going to show you the psychological trap that I think makes that feeling of being stuck so much worse. And I'm going to explain why staying in that job is actually the problem and what you need to do instead. If you're new here, hi, hello. And if you are a regular viewer, welcome back. I am Dr. Tega. I'm a career coach who helps professional women leave soul-sucking, draining jobs that they don't like or enjoy and land higher paying, more fulfilling careers they can thrive in while getting paid well. And I do this by helping them get super clear about their next career move and job search without burning out. Let's get into today's video. So you are the go-to person at work. They literally tell you that you're holding the team together, that you are solving problems they could never have fixed without you, that you are rainbows and sunshine, and they could not survive without you on the team. But when you look at your career trajectory or even just your career satisfaction, it doesn't reflect those words. So why exactly do you feel stuck in a job that by all outer metrics should look good and be good, especially when people are telling you that you are the go-to person? Well, let's talk about the 3 reasons being the go-to person at work can actually keep you stuck, or I would say make you start feeling stuck in that job. Reason number 1 is that you are too busy doing everyone else's work to advocate for yourself. If you are the go-to person, you say yes to everything. Somebody asks you to help you with a project, you say yes. They need you to cover their work while they're out, you say yes. Someone asks you to take on one more task, one quick little task, even though your plate is already full, you say yes, because that's just what the go-to person does. You're helpful, you're reliable, you're a team player. And a lot of times you don't just say yes, you actually take on other people's work because it is faster for you to do it yourself than to explain to them how to do it or wait for them to figure it out. So you just do it. Picking up the slack, making sure it gets things done. And you do all of this with your head down. Like you're just working. You don't talk about what you're doing. You don't announce it. You don't tell anyone the full scope of what you're accomplishing because, you don't want to brag, right? Maybe you think you would be bragging if you talk about it. Maybe you think humility means keeping quiet about your contributions. I don't know. But ultimately, whatever the reason, here's what happens. Nobody knows what you're actually doing. Nobody sees the entire picture of how much you are accomplishing in your career. So when the time comes for promotions, when the time comes for raises, when the time comes for leadership to decide who gets the next opportunity, they don't see you. They don't see you because you've been so busy doing everybody else's work that you haven't had time to advocate for yourself and be visible. Right? You haven't had time to make sure that people can see and know what you're doing. You haven't had time to position yourself for that next level you want so you don't grow in your career. The second reason why the go-to person stays stuck is that you are confusing being a team player with being a doormat. Now, being a team player is a good thing, okay? I'm not saying that you shouldn't support your team or that you shouldn't collaborate with people. Like that is not what I'm saying, okay? But here's what I need you to understand. Everyone likes to say there's no I in team, but there's a me in team. And if your team is not supporting you, you cannot perform well. Like think about it like this, okay? LeBron James is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Now, I am not a basketball fan. I literally know nothing about basketball except that he's a really good player, okay? So don't tussle with me in the comments about the greatest player of all time or anything like that. Basketball is not my lane. This is just for illustration purposes, okay? So LeBron James, great basketball player. I know that much. But LeBron James by himself cannot win a championship. He needs a team. He needs other players who are good at what they do to get them to the finish line. Because even the best player in the world cannot carry the entire team alone. If his teammates don't show up and do their part, then they are likely not going to win the game because they have one of the best players ever. Okay. The same is true for you. You might be the best person on your team. You might be the most skilled, the most reliable, the most knowledgeable. But if you are the only star player and everybody else is just dependent on you to carry their load, the whole team is going to fail anyway, because you cannot take on everyone's work and still perform at your best. You just can't. You cannot carry everyone and also have the bandwidth to grow, to strategize, to lead. So when you keep saying yes to everything, when you keep taking on other people's work, you are not being a good team player. You are being a doormat, and there is a difference. And then reason number 3 why the go-to person stays stuck in a dead-end job is that your company is giving you contradictory messages and it is breaking your brain. So this is the one I think that keeps the go-to person stuck more than anything else, because your company is telling you two completely contradicting things at the same time. On the one hand, they're saying, we can't run this team without you. You are indispensable. We don't know what we will do if you weren't here. You know everything. You're the person we rely on. You're a problem solver. And on the other hand, they're saying, you're not leadership material. You're not ready for a promotion. We're going to give this opportunity to somebody else. How does that make sense? Like, how, Sway? Make it make sense. How are you the person the team is riding on, but also not good enough to be a leader? How are you indispensable, but also not promotion ready? It legit doesn't make sense. And your brain knows it doesn't make sense. And that creates what we call cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when you are holding two contradictory beliefs at the same time, and your brain cannot resolve the conflict. So you get stuck. You can't really actually make a decision because the information you're getting, the information you have doesn't add up. So your brain is trying to reconcile the fact that you're the go-to person and the problem solver, which means to your brain, you should be valued, with the tangible reality that you're not being valued, right? Because you haven't gotten a raise. You haven't gotten a promotion. Maybe your title might have changed, but there were no additional benefits. So it's like, I'm the go-to person, so I should be valued, but I'm not valued. What the heck is going on here? And all of that leads to a really big trap of then thinking that if you just work harder, if you just take on a little bit more, if you prove yourself one more time, they will finally see you. They will finally recognize your value. They will finally promote you. They will finally give you the raise or make you a leader. But none of that happens. I mean, how long have you been the go-to person? 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? And in all that time, have they promoted you? Have they given you the raise you deserve? Have they made you a leader? If the answer to all of that is no, then you already have years of data telling you that working harder is not going to change anything. You have years of evidence that they are not going to value you the way you deserve to be valued. And yet you keep hoping. You keep thinking, maybe this is when it will be different. Maybe if I just do a little bit more, things will change. Because after all, they keep telling you how important you are to the team and the organization. But it won't be different. Because the problem is not your performance. The problem is the environment that you're in. The problem is a company that has figured out that they can get all of your talent, all of your effort, all of your contributions without having to pay you more or promote you or give you the recognition you deserve, right? That company is not going to suddenly change that pattern. I mean, as long as you keep giving it to them, then what are they changing for? They don't have to change. And I know that might sound harsh, but that's just the reality. And while I said 3 things, real quick, here's another thing that I do think can keep you stuck. And this one is more of a mindset thing. When they're constantly telling you that they rely on you, that they need you, that they can't function without you, I've noticed that sometimes the idea of leaving can feel like a betrayal. Like you start thinking, if I leave, who's going to do all this work? Or who's going to keep things going? Or maybe the team is going to fall apart without you. And so you end up staying. You put on your little superwoman cape and you keep trying to save the day. You're rescuing people's projects. You're making sure nothing falls through the cracks because you have convinced yourself that if you don't do it, no one will. When, by the way, that is actually not true. And even if it were true, it is not your responsibility to sacrifice your career to keep a company afloat. That company existed before you got there, and I promise you it will exist after you leave. And if your leaving causes everything to fall apart, that is not a you problem. That is a leadership problem. So you staying is not helping them. It is enabling them to continue undervaluing you while you pay the cost with your career, your health, and your life. So now, before I talk about what happens if you stay in that job and the solution, because I will share a solution, if you're finding this video helpful so far, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. Liking this video ensures that the little YouTube gremlins share this video with more people who need to hear this message. And when you subscribe, it ensures that you never miss a future video from me when I share some more. And candidly, it does help this channel grow. Thank you. So then what happens if you stay in that job? Okay, let's talk about it. If you keep staying in this role, hoping that things will change first, you are going to keep feeling confused and eventually resentful. Confused because the messaging doesn't make sense, and resentful because you know they took advantage of you, so you will resent the company. But here's the kicker. You will also resent yourself because you know that you stayed in that job way longer than you should have. Second, your earning potential is going to be capped because if they haven't given you a significant raise by now, they're not going to. So you're going to stay stuck at the same salary, doing more and more work for the same amount of money. And meanwhile, cost of living is going up, inflation is going up. So that means that you're actually making less money because your salary isn't matching the inflation level. So you're going backwards financially. Third, if you stay, you will start doubting your own skills and your own value. Because when you are not seeing any growth, when you are not seeing any reward for your effort, your brain will start to think, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. Maybe this is all I'm capable of. And that's a lie. But when you are in an environment that's not rewarding you, whether it's by promotions, recognizing your value, money, whatever it is, when they're not rewarding you, it is hard not to internalize that. And here's what I really want you to remember. You cannot have life satisfaction without career satisfaction. Okay? You spend most of your waking hours at work. In fact, the number is 90,000 hours over the course of your career. If those 90,000 hours are spent feeling undervalued, stuck, resentful, that bleeds into every other area of your life, and you cannot compartmentalize that. You can't leave the stress at work. It follows you home. It affects how you see yourself. It affects your relationship. It affects your health. It affects your ability to show up for the people you love. So staying in this job is not just affecting your career, it is affecting your entire life. Now, that all being said, what is the solution? Well, the solution is to make a career pivot. Listen, I know that it's scary to think about making a career change after you have been in the same path in your career for years, but you really need to go to a company that values you. You need to be in an environment where you are seen as a valued member of the organization, somebody they want to keep, not just as the person who does all the work. You need to pursue a career where you are actually fulfilled and thriving. And yes, that is possible. Because whether you've admitted it or not, the fact that you feel stuck means you're not fulfilled in your career right now. You're not thriving. You are surviving. And work should be more than just survival. Because again, at this point, your current company has already shown you how much, or really how little, they value you. right? Like the fact that you have been the go-to person for years and years and years and you still feel stuck is all the sign that you need to tell you that this current work environment is not the place where you will start thriving and feel fulfilled in your career. So at this point, the best solution is going to be finding a different environment that allows you to thrive and blossom in your career. And if you are realizing that you have been the go-to person for way too long and you're ready to stop being undervalued and actually find a career where you are seen and rewarded for your contributions, but you're like, I have no idea where to start, I have no idea what roles I'm qualified for, then you should definitely check out the Peaceful Pivot Guide. I created this guide as a resource to help you make a successful career pivot, clarify what roles you're qualified to do, pivot with your current skill set. And this guide breaks down the exact 5 steps to help you leave that job where you're stuck and pivot into a career that is actually fulfilling and higher paying. You can learn all about the guide and grab your copy at pivotwithpeace.com, or you can find that link in the description of this video below. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what if I'm wrong? And like, what if they do value me and I'm just not seeing it? And honestly, that is a fair question, but I would say, here's what I want you to do. Look at the track record. What is the track record? How many years have you been the go-to person at this company? How many years have you been doing more than your own work? How many years have you been getting great performance reviews? And in all that time, what has been the results? Have they promoted you? Have they given you a raise that matches the value you bring? Have they given you new projects that grow your skill sets? If the answer is no, then you already have the answer. You do. And hoping that it will change is not a strategy. That's just you staying stuck in a job you don't like. Okay, so I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that you now understand reasons why you might be stuck as the go-to person. And it's that, you're too busy to advocate for yourself. You're confusing being a team player with being a doormat. And your company is giving you contradictory messages and it's breaking your brain because it's causing cognitive dissonance and you can't take action. And the longer you stay in that role, the more you will feel confused and resentful. Your earning potential will be capped. You will start doubting your value and your skill set, and you won't have the life satisfaction that you desire without career satisfaction. So the solution, again, is to make a career pivot and go to a company that values you. Okay, find a career where you are fulfilled and thriving because you deserve more than being the invisible go-to person. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below so that you don't miss any future videos. Again, I really do hope the video was helpful in at least seeing your career differently. Once you hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons below, hold on, don't click away. Watch this. There's another video that's popping up on the screen right here. Go ahead and click that video. Watch that video. It's going to continue to help you grow in your career.